All right, so I want to be really clear in this video. If you're an online coach right now in 2025, I'm sure that your main struggle is that you're not getting enough clients, and maybe you are also not getting enough sales calls. So I've been helping online coaches achieve their financial goals since 2019, so it's like 6 years up to date. So I'm gonna be revealing the exact same system I use with my clients that was that allowed them to get more than $4.2 million in net revenue for the past 2 years. And for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna be revealing the exact system with all the practical application of it. So I'm gonna be uncovering how my clients, and now you after watching this video, are able to get clients just through Instagram stories and reels, plus automations with ManyChat and other softwares. So before we hop in this video, make sure that you really pay attention to this video, because I'm sure that the things that I'm going to be uncovering here aren't the things that people are telling right now on the internet or on courses. And I say that for a reason, because with the experience I have with my clients and also with me in the past doing online coaching, I'm sure that the reason why people aren't getting results right now is because they don't have this system already implemented in their coaching service, right? So let's get into it. First of all, we're going to be uncovering different layers in the system. The first layer is going to be just attraction with reels and stories. Then we'll get into natural automation with DMs. And I'm saying natural automation, not robot or maybe AI automation that no one understands, just natural automation with ManyChat. And I'm going to be telling you exactly how you can implement right now in this video, step by step, all the automation. And then I'm going to be uncovering with you the part of the system that no one is paying attention to, that is this part about long form video, then how to make a natural voice message automated, and then how you can also have the extra remuneration from your client, and that can also feed your system, and how you can make a flywheel system that is not going to be dependent on you doing content all the time, right? So let's get into the video, right? So the first part, as I was telling you, wait a second, yeah. So the first part, as I was telling you, is that you will be right now here. Let me lock this first, right? So the first part will be that you will be posting reels and stories. And this is not a video of just posting reels and stories, right? But you will be posting, first of all, you will be posting reels, 3 to 5 reels per week, solving, and this is really important, real problems. So for example, if you are a fitness coach, for example, right? And you have your potential customer is someone that wants to lose fat, right? So maybe you'll be making content about emotional hunger, not losing weight, frustration, eating things in the diet that they don't like, and that way you will build the trust and you will have the connection. But that's just the first layer of trust that you have. And the second layer is going to be stories, right? And with stories, I don't want you to just post stories of you, the things you do in day to day, also client success stories. Not only that, you're going to be using story blogs and blogs of content. And this strategy, I'm not going to be being like really deep down in the strategy, because you have this strategy in other videos I have in my channel. Just search my channel and you can search for blogs of content. But in a very, very, very simple manner, this is stories that you have. First one is going to be the hook. Second one is going to be the problem, right? Third one is going to be the problem solving. The fourth is going to be social proof. And the fifth is going to be the CTA, right? If you want to know about this, just go to different videos on my channel, right? But with this, the goal is to have an indirect CTA that really makes sense. So you don't just want to be posting reels or stories, you want to be doing that with a purpose. And that purpose will lead to you putting CTAs that really resonate with your potential customer, with your ICP. So maybe if you are talking about losing fat, you can then use a CTA story, the last story, that will say, if it happens to you, text me the word summer. So how do you do that? Yeah, in a practical manner, right? So to do that, you first identify the problem, right? So you recognize those problems that your potential customer has. So you recognize those problems, then you create a reel with reverse engineer with that problem, then you post that reel, then people will engage with you, but you need to build that trust in order for them to engage. So for that, you need to be posting stories and then gather the feedback you have from them so that you can refine your strategy and your strategy can be unbeatable. So in order for this system to really work and this conversion to happen, you need to understand that the first layer, this layer, needs to be really to the point. And once you have that, we will go to the second layer, which is the natural automation via ManyChat. And this is really important. This is why most of the coaches mess up their system, because they don't have the natural automation already set up. So this way, the user responds with a keyword we said before, right? For example, the keyword summer, right? The user responds with the keyword, then it enters into a human-like conversation, and this way, the conversation doesn't look like a robot. It's really human, and I will show you later on how to do this here in the next steps, right? Will be in a few seconds, but it's really important that it doesn't look like a bot. So the first question can be, this is just an example, right? But the first question could be, what's the hardest thing for you right now? And if it responds, it could be the second one, like, oh, okay, so what have you already tried? Because if the hardest thing for you right now, for example, is to keep on track with the diet, all right, so if that's a problem, what have you already tried? So this way you are building connection and trust, and you are also talking with your potential customer, and that potential customer is telling you that he or she has a problem, and he will be able to know that that problem can be solved with your help. But you can do that when you build trust. And in order to build trust, it's really important that here you share a real story of a customer you have with that same blockage, right? So if you show that a customer you have or maybe has, better said, a blockage with that, and he was able or she was able to determine that and then solve that, you will be the coach that that person is looking for. So we will go from, let me use here eraser. So we will go from impersonal bot interaction that is generic, cold, and very robotic to a keyword trigger that the ManyChat will automate. Then you will have an empathetic inquiry, and that way you will show them a relatable story that will make them feel at home, and that way the human-like conversation can begin, so that then you can book a video call with that person so that you can sell and get money. But don't get so fast, and that's the reason why I'm gonna be showing you exactly the exact system you will use in ManyChat to make that work, right? So I don't want you to lose any time. 8 minutes and 33 seconds into the video, and we will get into the ManyChat automation. So how do you do that, right? So first of all, as we said, we'll have an activation from a reel or story here, right? Then you will have a conversation with an emotional, realistic content. As I told you, maybe, oh, you're having trouble losing fat without giving up what you like. Oh, text me the word summer and I'll explain how we solve it. And that way, the CTA will make a trigger that will make ManyChat start working. So for that to happen, you need to go to ManyChat, and then in triggers, you just text, or maybe, no, not text. You just put into the button new trigger, and in new trigger, you will be choosing this one, right? You will be choosing user replies to your story, right? So once you do that, we go to the second one, and that's the first message. So you will have an automatic message that will really sound human style. And this is really important, because I see a lot of online coaches doing ManyChat automations, but they do that in a really bad manner. They do that in a very robotic way, with buttons, with everything. No, don't just use ChatGPT and normal ChatGPT without being trained to respond to messages. So do that with a really human-like voice note, or maybe a human-like expressions, right? So maybe it could be, hey, I just saw your message with Summer. Just was talking about this with a client this week. So this way, you are not just like, okay, you text me the word Summer, so here's the calendar link where you can book a call with me. That's really cool, right? So we don't want that. We want something like this. So what are the things that is keeping here this message so human? First, we're using hey. You also address that you show the message with Summer, but then in order to make a connection with them, you don't just tell them to book a calendar link, but you used a really human-like conversation, saying, just was talking about this with a client this week, and you use an emoji. So in this way, first of all, it builds authority, because it means that you have clients and you are also working in this exact same problem that your ICP has, and you can solve them. And then you will write, tell me, what are you having the hardest time with right now? Tell me, and I will personally, this is really important, personally help you with it, right? So how do you do this? You just, whenever you have the trigger here, user replies to a story, then the next step will be send message. And then in the message, you will write the message here. For the purpose of this video, I have this in Spanish because most of my clients are Spanish speaking. So this is just an automation that I took from one of the automation we have, right? But that's the way we do it. So then we will go into the next step, right? So for the next step, right, and this is really important, you need to connect with the person with trust and authority. So it's really important. If you respond to them, you will have an answer with a real story and a contextual question. So if they answers, for example, we have this question, and they answer that the problem they have is like, I don't know, maybe they were with a coach that they have a good experience, and now they're afraid of going into a diet, for example, right? For just an example. So depending on the response, you can have an automatic response, something like that. Well, look, my client Maria was telling me the exact same thing 3 weeks ago. We changed 2 simple things, and in 10 days, right? In 10 days, it was already noticeable in the mirror. So this way, you are telling the person that you already have a client that was in the same exact moment that potential customer is right now, and in a matter of just 3 weeks, right? You were talking to them, and in 10 days, it was already noticeable in the mirror of the change. So that way, you will introduce a next question, a really contextual question, that will be, want me to tell you how we did it in her case? So as you see here, we are not just telling them, okay, so I have a client that was in the same path as you. How about if we hop into a call? That's what most people do. No, we need to understand that right now, the typical funnel, right? The typical funnel of attracting, nurturing, and selling, right, doesn't really work that way. Right now, everything works as a flywheel. So as everything works as a flywheel, you need to understand that people aren't just gonna DM you, respond to DM you, then respond to one DM and book a call with you. That's not gonna happen, right? So you need to build more connections. So maybe the last question could be, want me to tell you how we did it? So in order to do that in ManyChat, what you will do is that you will have the first trigger, send message, then you will have a delay. So you will wait 24 hours, right? To see if that people responded to you, and then you will send the message, right? And before going to the 4th step, I want to address one thing. And this, let me tell you that this is the one thing that people aren't paying attention to right now in 2025. And first of all, in the first part of 2025, maybe it was working, but in the second half of 2025, this is not working. So you need to understand that the long form video content is really important. And I don't mean So I don't want you to think that you need to be a YouTuber, an influencer, or something like that, or create content every single day. No, but you need to create long-form video content that will build the trust and will make that potential customer really think that you are the one, right? So you are the coach that they are looking for. So for that, in this layer, you will send, and before you just think that you're not going to be posting videos on YouTube, just hear me out. You will send a long form video of maybe 10-15 minutes where you explain exactly how you approach this case. So the case we were talking before about Maria, for example, you will make a video about this. So it could be a video about how I helped this girl lose I don't know, 3 pounds of fat in 1 week without having a very restricted diet, whatever, just an example, right? So that way, with this video, don't worry, because you don't need to have a perfect video. So you will record this video from your mobile phone or maybe a screen sharing, as I'm doing here in Loom, without any script or any pro editing. It needs to be so personal, so natural, that it builds real trust within you, right? So you don't have a real CTA. You just put when you send the message, you just say, watch the video, and if it resonates with you, just let me know. So how do you do that in a very practical manner? So you share the video here. So you share the video, then the audience watches the video, then it resonates with the audience, and you collect the feedback from that person in order to go to the next layer, which will be right now, yes, to book the video call and then have the sale and have the money in your business, right? So once we have this clear, and this is really important, that you need to nurture also that middle of funnel. This is not only happening from the top of the funnel to the bottom of the funnel. We'll go into ManyChat. How do you do this in ManyChat, right? So in order to do this in ManyChat, you will, as I told you, you will be delivering valuable and relatable content in long form video. So maybe you can send, I will send you this video where I explain how I approach the real recomposition with my clients. So maybe they want body recomposition, so I will send you a video. So you put a link to the video and you just wait for them. So how do you do that in Instagram? After you do this, right, you just send a message and you write this text here and put the YouTube URL. It could be private URL or public URL. That's not a problem. So after that, what you will do will be you will re-engage with that person if they don't respond. Because in a very ideal world, this will respond, right? This person will respond. Then you will book a video call and then you will make the sale. But that doesn't work every time. So if that doesn't work, that person doesn't respond, you will have an automation that will be running. So if they don't respond 6 hours later, you will have a re-engaging automation that will say something like this, right? Oh, so were you able to watch the video at the end? If you want, I can record an audio orienting you a little bit according to your case. So this way, if they don't have or they don't just want to invest 10 to 15 minutes watching this video, which is normal, by the way, you will tell them that they don't need to worry. If they want, you can send them a voice message. And for that purpose, before going to the sixth step, we will go here, right? So you will start a natural conversation via voice message, right? So you will have an already set up on ManyChat automatic conversation after reopening or maybe not opening the video, and you will send a personal message with a diagnosis of their case that they already saw you, remember, in this second part of the funnel, right? So you will make a diagnosis of that, and you will make a proposal for doing a video call, right? But you don't need to force that video call. You just propose that video call if that lead is already warm, right? So you need to have a smooth conversation from the end. So how do you do that, right? So you will reopen the conversation, then you will send a really close and really familiar voice message, then you will propose the idea and you will have an opportunity to book a call. If they want to book a call, that's okay. If they don't want to book a call, just achieve the seamless transition from the DM to maybe your WhatsApp or a more personal way of connecting with them, right? So how do you do that on ManyChat? So the way to do that on ManyChat is that you will have, as I told you, a very close and soft audio proposal. So you will have something like this. So after what you told me, I will do this and this and this and this. So you do the diagnosis. So if you want, so this is the diagnosis and this is the proposal, right? So if you want, I'll structure it better and we will see. So here, right, here you will decide whether to invite them to a video call if they are already like warm, or if they are cold, just send a calendar link and wait for it. So how do you do that, right? So the way to do that is that you will have here your message, then you will have a new trigger, and in the new trigger, and this is something that people don't know about ManyChat, but now in 2025 you can send audio messages, right? So you can send voice messages. So you will have your phone, right? You will in voice notes here in iPhone or Android, whatever you have. So in voice message, you will record a really familiar and close and personal voice message, and you will extract that MP3 format and you will upload that into ManyChat here so that it can be sent and the automation can start working. So that's it all in all, to be honest. Like, so we are 21 minutes and 36 seconds in this video, and let me tell you that was really fast, because this thing is what, so I'm really clear with you. This is what's really helping my clients have their desired outcome in their business. So this was almost all, but I have, and you are a person that was 22 minutes watching video, so 100% you are my ICP, you are my potential customer. So if you just want me to help you with the business, or maybe do a consultation, just reach me out, or maybe go to a calendar link I have maybe in the description or in my YouTube channel, calendar.com/scalewith_call. But that's only if you want to work with it. But now that you go to this part of this video, I want to show you for free something that people don't really know. So when you have a customer, the actual remuneration left by your customer in your business is way higher than what people think. So each new customer that you have fits the system. So you have new reels, new stories, and with their results, you can also use their voice messages or maybe WhatsApp messages or Gmail reports that they send you, so that you can restart the cycle, so you can have more authority, more attraction, and more DMs. So that way you understand that this, as I told you, doesn't work as a funnel anymore. This works as a flywheel, right? So a flywheel that will help you connect with your customer so that they can pay you the amount of money that you deserve, right? So how do you do that in a very practical manner? So to do that, you will have a new customer. That customer will help you make new and better content. That way you will increase your authority, and that attraction to your profile will be engaged, so that you can get more DMs, so that you can restart the cycle and have more video calls booked, so that you can have more sales. As simple as that, right? And yeah, so if you arrived to this part of this video, let me tell you that you are way ahead of the rest of the video, of the people, sorry. So you can, this is just a hack that I implement with my client, of course, with my high ticket clients. And you can also automate everything here, and you don't even need to be doing anything here. So you can automate this with N8N, that is a software that will have ChatGPT or DeepSeek intelligence thinking about what they respond here in the ManyChat automation, and it will be working as if it was you, with a really natural voice, so that you can have your calls being booked in autopilot, right? And if you want to go way farther, the N8N automation can also have your calendar it will send your Calendly link, and with ChatGPT, it will be really natural that you can book those calls on automatic, so that then you or your closer can hop into a call, just close the call, and have the money coming into your business, right? So yeah, 25 minutes. It was really cool. I don't know if you found this helpful. I hope you did, right? So this was, yeah, so if I'm being really honest, if you apply this, you need to apply, but if you apply this right now, you'll be way ahead of your rivals in this business. So yeah, that's it. All in all, if you feel this helpful, just subscribe. I'm sure that a video will pop in this screen. I'm sure that you will also feel find that video helpful. So without further ado, that's it. If you want me to help you, as I told you, just search in the YouTube channel the Calendly link, right? Book a call with me, and maybe we can see, and maybe we can do a diagnosis of your business. So see you in the next video. Bye bye.